Alright, first things first, ingredients. I've got everything laid out on the table here. Total mess, but it's all here. Before we do anything else, I'm melting the butter and letting it cool. Melt it, set it aside, forget about it for a bit. We'll come back to that later. Now let's talk pecans. Spread them out, toss them in the oven, and roast them for about 10 minutes at 350, 425, whatever. Just check on them. Once they're done, chop them up super fast, throw them in a bowl, and set them aside. Next up, sugar. Melt it in a small saucepan over medium heat. It's gonna look chunky and weird, just keep stirring. Once it's fully melted, you gotta move fast. Add the pecans, mix quickly and carefully, then dump everything onto parchment paper and let it cool. I had a little bit of a tough time here. Looks way easier when the video's sped up. Alright, spelt time. Whoa! Runaway egg. I'm milling my own using the Mockmill 200. Fantastic machine. Super quiet and purrs like a kitten. Believe it or not, spelt is actually a little quieter than the other grains. Hard wheat is louder because it's a harder grain. Yep, the more you know. Now I'm going to run my hand all through this flour. The aroma you get from fresh flour isn't like anything you can get at the store. After milling it, I sieve it using a number 40 sieve. The higher the number, the finer the flour. That's what I always say. I'm just pulling out the big bran flakes so I get a smoother dough while still keeping most of the good stuff. There's the bran! Time to weigh the ingredients: 500 grams of bread flour, 100 grams of fresh milled spelt. Then I add the yeast. People say you should bloom your yeast first to make sure it's alive. I don't really care. I use it all the time. It's alive. Eventually, you just learn to trust your yeast. After you add the yeast, add the salt, sugar. Give it a quick mix and dump it into the mixing bowl. Try not to make a mess. Maybe a little mess is okay. Make sure not to inhale any flour. Smash! Smashing things. Using the dough hook, I start mixing. First, I weigh out about 240 grams of milk and add 2 eggs. This is called the 2-bowl method. Helps prevent your cake from being crunchy. Then I'm going to top it off with more milk until I hit about the 350 grams total. Whisk that together, and then we're going to add the butter into the dry mix until it's fully incorporated. Then add the milk and egg mixture. Scrape it down every once in a while. At this point, my mixer, well, it tapped out, couldn't handle it. So I gave up and kneaded it by hand. You're supposed to mix it for about 5 minutes in the mixer. I got maybe 2, then kneaded it by hand for another 5. They say you should get that window pane, but with fresh milled grain, well, good luck. Plenty of gluten in this batch. Lightly oil a bowl, toss the dough in seam side down, and let it rise for about 2 hours. While it's happening, time to work on that filling. I tried chopping the pralines with a knife. That did not work, so I put them in a Ziploc bag and smashed them with a hammer. Much better. Mix together 8 ounces of cream cheese, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, and 1 teaspoon almond extract. Once that mixture is all smooth, add your pralines, give it a quick stir, and now it's time to struggle with the piping bag. Admire your filling. Also, cutting piping bags left-handed, terrible experience. Back to the dough. Is it ready? Give it a little push and see if it bounces back. I think it's ready to party. Roll it out roughly 16 by 16. I'm rolling it out 16 by 14 because my marble is 16 by 20. Going from edge to edge weirds me out anyway. As long as it's 16 inches long, it'll fit just beautifully in that bundt pan. Just try to get the edges as square as possible. Not a big deal if it's just okay. No one will hate you. It's hard to tell what is the most satisfying part of this process. We're going to pipe the filling evenly across the dough, leaving about a ½ inch at the top of the edge, and then using an offset spatula, we're going to layer that out a little better. Roll it up like a cinnamon roll and drop it into a well-greased bundt pan. Alright, now time to cover it, let it rise for about 2 hours. During the second hour, preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Bake for about 35 minutes. While still trying to figure out the lighting, I'm just going to put this in the oven. Once it's nice and brown, flip it out onto a cooling rack and let it cool completely before adding your icing. In that time, weigh out your coconut and your powdered sugar, add a tablespoon of milk and 2 tablespoons of water, maybe a little more vanilla extract. Who cares? Get that nice and smooth. Once that cake is cooled, pour glaze evenly over the top and try not to drool. Also, don't get any weird ideas. Just know, at this moment, you've already won. Top with coconut. Traditionally, you'd use yellow, purple, and green colors, but it's snowing and I don't like food colorings. Tried setting up a nice reveal, but I chose to cut through the seam, where maybe I didn't get a whole lot of filling. Oops, I'll do better next time. But that second slice, though, oh yes. So yeah, I should probably take my watch off next time. This is the point I'm told I should say like and subscribe, but I need to make at least 5 more of these videos before I will allow that. So go make a king cake and thanks for watching. Alright, stop recording. Where's the button? One day.